Hey everybody, Jimmy here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Sunday. I know this isn't typical for taking trades on this channel. I know that typically we're a Monday through Friday channel, but this weekend I was looking at some stocks and there was one that caught my eye and I thought, maybe for some content over the weekend, we could start talking about a Sunday stock pick. One stock that I like, or maybe more than one that I like, that you could be watching through this next week because of a particular reason. Maybe it's a long play or a short play that I see that I like, and I want to share that with you, and then maybe we can look at it at the end of the week and ultimately see how that stock did. So it'd be kind of a pick it for a reason, watch it through the week, and then analyze the results as we get closer to Friday. So thought we'd try that out. Sunday stock pick of the week. Today's pick I'm going to reveal here in just a minute, but let's dive into the charts. Okay, so as you can see on the chart, the Sunday stock pick of the week is AMD, and I like AMD for a few reasons, and I thought we could just kind of go through it. I can show you what I saw, I can show you why I like it, I can show you what I think it's trying to build to do, but ultimately, you got to follow your own analysis. Don't take my opinion as the final word. Don't make trading decisions off exactly what I'm saying. I'm just trying to give some guidance on something that I like, and I wanted to give a little content over the weekend. Saturday and Sunday are sort of quiet days here at Taking Trades, and I wanted to open something up and just start picking a stock each weekend, go over it, see what you guys think of it, get your opinions on the stock, and then maybe later in the week we can say, all right, let's look back at the stock pick of the week, let's review it, let's see what it did it do what we thought it was going to do, and then let's pick a new stock for the following week. So we'll just kind of loop around and around with this. So this week's stock pick of the week is AMD. And first I want to show you based on the weekly chart. This is kind of interesting. You look at the weekly chart and you see AMD came down and sort of found a support level down here, sort of in the 1620 area, maybe the 1610 area. And then it popped up, pulled back, popped up, pulled back, and it's kind of done that a few times. But ultimately, it keeps resting on this trend line right here. And I was kind of looking at it side to side as well to see what the price action was doing, if there were any significant levels. But as you can see, it sort of ripped up here and then got pulled right back. So on an even higher time frame, this piece up here would kind of just be an upper topping wick. So this touch here, and the fact that it broke out and came right back in, makes me think this is a wick, sort of a fake out or a probe. So this level of overhead resistance is interesting to me. And that happens to fall sort of at the, let's see, kind of right around the $30 mark. So here's what I'm thinking with AMD. So you can see that, a couple touches here, here, and here. We're trending up. The reason I like it on the weekly chart is because every time it pulls back, the buyers buy it up quicker. They don't let it get back to the previous level. So it was started here, it got pushed up, pulled back, but the buyers only let it drop to here. Pushed up, pulled back, the buyers only let it come to here. So every time it's stepping up, and it keeps stepping up and keeps stepping up. And now we're getting to this critical point, and I'll draw a little circle here so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about right here. As this flag or pennant narrows into this area, things are going to start to get a little interesting and a little intense. The stock's going to have to make a decision. Is it going to break up or is it going to fail and break down? Now the reason why I think that AMD will break up above 30 ultimately is because the buyers keep buying it up at higher levels. They're not letting it retrace back down. So it's not like it's in a range. Like it's not like bouncing around in a range. It's sort of channeling, or in a channel, it's sort of ranging back up. And if we hit 30, it could get really interesting. So if I flip over to the daily chart, you can see it a little differently. We're kind of bouncing around, and this is the 200 simple moving average. And the thing I like is that it broke above, bounced on it, came back down to the 200, bounced again. We got another bounce down here. We're above the 200. So I like that we're north of the 200 moving average because that tells me that things are fairly bullish right now. And I want to see this break above 30. Now, if it does break above 30, this action in here, I'm not super concerned about, but I will watch it because it does have a high of 34-ish dollars. So I think if you break above 30, you've got some decent room up. I think you have $3.50 to $4 of ability to go north before you get any kind of, I don't know, maybe resistance overhead, but it just seems like, when you look at this on a higher time frame, this just kind of smells like a probe to me. A big push up and an immediate pullback. So let's see if we can go to, we got a weekly. Yeah, I don't have a monthly chart on here. I need to get a monthly chart on here. I'll do that for the end of the week so we can see it. I bet on a monthly chart, this would just be a single probe. It'd be a topping tail wick. So anyway, let's go ahead. Let's go back to the daily chart. And we can see that trend line. We're above the 200 simple moving average. We've got overhead resistance here. So I would say going into this week, if we get a bounce off of this level and we start to head back north, this could be a long position up to $30. There might be some interaction or some slowdown at 30, but the thing I'm going to watch for is at some point during this week, it would be very interesting if AMD gapped overnight above 30. I think if it gaps above $30, you could look for a pattern or some sort of setup on a smaller time frame, maybe the 2-minute, 5-minute, 1-minute, whatever you prefer, to take a position long, and I think you've got room up. I mean, $33.50 to $34 to that $34.14. I think it's got room to go higher, and I just like that the buyers keep stepping up and buying this thing up. They're not letting it drift back down, and it's following that nice trend line up. So that's the pick of the week. AMD is it. I think AMD, I'm hoping it'll bounce here and keep moving up. If it doesn't and it breaks down, then we'll look for it to get below the 200 simple moving average. If it does get below the 200 simple moving average, then I'm going to be looking at a short play and be short bias on this. But the thing to watch for, gap above 30 and look for it to go north. You've got about $4 to play with in this zone. And the zone I'm talking about is right here. That zone, that's your zone to play with. You shouldn't see really any hang up in there. Once we get above 30, we should be able to kind of drift up into that $33.50 to $34 range. So keep an eye on that. Let me know what you guys think of this stock pick. What I want to do is get a bunch of comments, a bunch of interaction on this. Let me know what you think. We can talk about it. And then we'll watch it throughout this week. And then next Sunday, we'll talk about AMD. We'll see what it did. We'll say, okay, did it break above? Did it break below? How did it perform? And then I'll be keeping my eye out for another stock that we can break down and talk about for the week moving forward after this. So we'll just kind of keep playing this week after week, and we'll just see if you guys like it. We'll see if it's helpful, and we'll just kind of build from here. So thanks for stopping in. Happy Sunday. Hope everyone had a great weekend, and we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Thank you.